Hey everybody, Matt here, Hollywood's Garage. There's been a lot of interest in my channel due to the Escalade. And you guys are a lot like me, the new subscribers and the old ones, that you can finally afford an Escalade. These new ones, like 150, 200K, that's a Canadian, so American, that's like what, 90, 100K. But either way, way too much money for us normal folk to inquire. So now, it's at the price range we can afford. You know, when they're 5 to 6, 7 years old, that's great. But the problem is by that old, they need maintenance. Things wear out. Nice part is when they're that old, you already get to know what's wrong with it due to just forums, Facebook pages, research, Google, stuff like that, right? Even YouTube videos. Hence why you're probably here. Because this video is about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, kind of go over it. 2018 Escalade Platinum. Just shorter version, not the ESV, and we bought it with like 165,000, somewhere like that, somewhere around there. That's kilometers, by the way, and it was bone stock. I don't think it had any aftermarket stuff. Oh, the window tint, that was it. Which, hey, saved us a bit of buck there doing that, and it came with some cheap wheels, some cheap GM replica 22s, and not even the factory ones. So it is what it is there. But so we'll start this off with what is the first of it, which is the good. The good. They are nice looking, right? They're one of the sleekest looking full-size SUVs that I think you can find. Got a V8 under the hood, tons of horsepower. I think 2018, around there, 200 or 430 horsepower, something like that. So super torquey, and this thing just gets up and goes. Sounds good too, and a little bit of exhaust modification, which I haven't done yet. You can make it sound a little more just for cheap pipe that you can cut out and put in place. I'll do that later on, but the lighting on this is great. Like the high beams, low beams, great. I have no problems with that at all. The when you go to turn right or left the steering wheel, it'll turn on these corner lights that'll turn your corner on and show you what the corner is going to bring for debris and whatnot, right? So that's good. One thing I've added is I added this light up badge here, but I have this wired into the headlights, so for the parking lights. So I have a light up badge there. I have a video installing that. What else is the good on this? This one in particular has the captain seats in the middle, which we were looking for because we have a newborn and a 8-year-old. So as you can see, perfect. And we have all that storage in the back. Not as much as the ESV, obviously, because I think you gain like another 8 inches or so, maybe even a foot, because they look a little longer in the back too. But I know you gain some here. The DVD headrest, the one up top, the Platinums come with that, and then the suede headliner, suede seat backs, all that, right? So when you're in there, it's an awesome ride. One of the best rides I've ever been in just for cruising. Great family vehicle, great mom whip, all around a great vehicle. You have your 2 settings here. You have to press and hold once you have it saved to change it. We're going from wife mode to dad mode. So anyway, gonna start it up. Keyless entry, push button start. It's cool out there. Let's heat up a little bit while I talk. Fully loaded, like the Platinums. I think even the Luxury, I think they call it, which is a base model, but they call it Luxury. I think they're fully loaded too. I don't know if the Luxuries come with a heads-up display or not, but this one does. I don't know if you can see it or not. Somewhere in this area, can't really see it, but I love that feature myself because the steering wheel, where it's comfortable for me, covers up the speedometer. Yeah, you can change your settings and all this. We have a tire sensor out and a rear sensor. Yeah, so tire sensors are out as you saw, and then I have a backup module, I guess, that pretty much a week after we bought it, decided it didn't want to work anymore. So that's like a $700 part from GM. I can get it for $400 on the internet. Plug and play. I just haven't done it yet. Just the sensors. You still have the camera and all that, right? Anyway, back to the good. This is all sleek. You'll have a little hidden compartment there if you're not aware. You can hide your sunglasses in there, or your snacks, your road snacks. You do have, this one has the fridge in it. I think the Platinums have a fridge. We took the fridge out. It's kind of pointless. It's a gimmick. We use it for storage. But other than that, I don't know what else is extra in it. But like I said, great ride, comfortable. This has the Magna ride still on it. You can do the delete, what we'll talk about later. It's got the airbags in the back, so if you tow or put any weight in the back, it'll keep it, make it level. So you're never gonna have that saggy bottom. Another good part is this is just a full-size GM SUV. So the Tahoe, the Suburban, which is like the little, Suburban's like the ESV in this for length. The Yukon, there it is, Yukon. They're all the same parts. I think the Yukon Denali even comes with a lot of the same stuff the Escalade has. So it has the Magna ride. It'll have, this will be different. On the Yukon, you can actually buy like a better stereo kit and stuff if you want to get rid of factory stuff. There is an aftermarket touchscreen that gets rid of all this, but anyway, that's just a side fact. I was kind of actually looking for a Yukon Denali when we were looking at this, but this came up and it was a good deal. So yeah, parts can be relatively cheap because you have 3 to 4 full-size SUVs, let alone the trucks, if you use the engines and the transmissions, that all share the same stuff. So parts are pretty cheap from GM. If not, they've been out long enough, like I said, that third parties have, you know, found out what's common on these, have built them themselves, and did what they had to do to make parts for cheaper. Which I have, which I've done for a few things. I'll talk about the other ones later that I kept with GM, and there's a reason why. What else is good? It's a safe vehicle. Like honestly, like I said, you're in a full-size vehicle. It's got the 4-auto. It's great traction in the winter. It's a great ride. I fully recommend it. And also to know, every vehicle, every make and model is going to have their issues, their pros and their cons. So of course, you go to a forum or the internet or Google, they're always going to tell you the wrong, because that's what people complain about. People don't go to a forum and be like, I love my Escalade. It's the best vehicle I ever had. It's a lot more rare that people go in there looking to fix a problem, right? So just keep that in mind. Yes, they have their problems, and I'll bring that up. Oh, I think we've pretty much beat the good on it. Digital backup camera. Downfall on that is I wish it was a full glass roof. 2018, like my F1, or sorry, I had a 2018 F-150 that had a full glass roof, which I think it came out in 2015. So GM's a little late to the party. Yes, 2021 Escalade's up, new model, did come with them, but too little too late in my opinion, GM. Anyway, so let's talk about the bad. Starting from before you get in it, the key fob distance on this thing is like, it's literally 20 feet away before it works, maybe 40. Like, it's not very long. I can't command start this thing from my front door into my driveway without walking out my front door 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet, and clicking the button to see if it starts. Horrible distance. I've had GM vehicles in the past, been great. I got a company truck that goes across the road and I can command start it from my front door. So I don't know what it is with this, but that's just one thing. Next is gonna be, let's talk about the engine. The 6.2, the controversial 6.2 that's all over social media right now because they have GM put recalls out or bulletins and stuff, and they actually come out with the new 6.2 after this one in 2021, which that was the bad one. That's the one that has the bad crank bearings. But this 6.2, it's a good motor. The issue is going to be your emission stuff. The AFM/DOD, so the active fuel management and delivery on demand is what those stand for. Shuts off 4 cylinders, which you think would be great, right? Better mileage and all, but honestly, it's not good. Your lifters ride on the cam lobe, right? But there's a spring on top. And what that spring does is when it's activated, it'll lift that lifter up using oil pressure, so it doesn't ride on the cam. So you don't have to worry about opening and closing those lifters. And that 4 cylinders, that just shut off. They don't do nothing. They just move up and down the pistons. That's it. So yeah, that sounds great and all, but honestly, it's not good. It's more moving parts that are gonna go wrong if you don't do your oil changes properly. Don't trust the Lio meter on these. Do it every 5,000 miles. Use the good oil. I've upgraded my oil to 5W30 from the 0W20. I find that better. It's controversial. Do what you want to do. Do your own research. I find higher miler engines, like mine's got 178,000 kilometers now, little broke in. The thicker oil is better for it. Just my opinion. Anyway, I put a disabler on this and a catch can. One of the first things I did with this, there's a good video on that on my channel. Watch that. But the catch can catches all that oil that would go into the intake. Again, emission stuff. And problem with this engine is a direct injection. It's got high pressure injectors right into the cylinder instead of going through the top of the valve and washing the back of the valve before it goes into your cylinder. And at least with the old style, where it would go on top of your valve and into the air and boom, it would wash your valve. This doesn't do it. It's just oil and air. So downfall is, by the time my catch can went on this is when I bought it, around the 150s, 160 mark. So it's kind of done its damage in a way, which comes to my next thing. If you don't do that right away, you're going to get a rough idle. These are well known for having a rough idle just sitting, like around that 500 to 600 RPM. They just have a shimmy to it, and it can come down to being one of your, mostly the driver, but it could be a passenger too, motor mount. They can go, there's like hydraulic oil in them, help dampening them. These are still good. You could test that by just getting a pry bar underneath there and wiggling it, or even revving it and watching it, twist the motor. But anyway, so these just have a rough idle, and it's probably due to those lifters, right? So once you get some gunk build up on the back of it, they're just not quite as letting as much air in, not as clean burn. It just brings up a rough idle. You can walnut blast them. You can take the heads off, clean them, take them apart, clean them. Like I said, walnut blasting you can do on the vehicle. There's a sequence to it. There's a lot of videos on it. Legit Street Cars on YouTube does a good video on it. I think on his wife's Escalade, because he put a supercharger on it. The guy got some good videos, so hit him up if you actually want to see some stuff that's over and above what I do. I would love to get to that point, but he took like 8 years to get there, but good for him. Anyway, I digress. So the other bad part is the Magna Ride struts. The struts on this thing. So the Carfax on this showed the front two struts were replaced around 60 to 70,000 kilometers, which is kind of average how they go out. So they were replaced. We bought this last year, so we've had this for about a year, just over a year. The dealership put in new rear shocks, which is Magna Ride and the air compressor, right? So just to note that you're going to be replacing those every 60, 70,000 kilometers / miles. When we have winter up here, so I'm sure it's more harsh on it with the cold and the salt and stuff getting in them, but just be prepared for that. And to replace the front struts on these from GM are not, I think they're like $1,000 a piece. So yeah, they make Chinese knockoffs now, or Arnett makes a good brand, but still you're looking at like $600-700 for both pairs, for both sets on the front. Sorry, the rears, I haven't looked those up yet, because like I said, those are new when I bought it, so I don't have that issue yet. The rear compressor on this, the air compressor, are known to go. They're a cheap part. I think Dorman makes an aftermarket part for that, so just keep an eye on that. So the front struts on, actually I'm going to show you my driver's side front strut. It's leaking, and I'll show you that right now. Hopefully you can see it there, but it's been sweating for about 6 months now, and it's not clunking yet. There's no code yet, but I know it's coming up, so that'll be a video in the future, me replacing that. Not very hard, but I'm gonna probably buy a cheap one and show you guys how well it does, right? Instead of spending your big money on the good brand name, or let alone the OEM, because OEM don't last very well either. So okay, the next thing is gonna be good old GM and rusty frames. If I could show you underneath this thing with the lift, I would. But like, what if I could show you the frame? Oh, it's all dirty, but you can see in the back of the tire there, right in there, that's all just schmag. So whoever, don't ever do undercoating, guys. Just don't do it. Stuff you get at the dealership, don't do it, because all it's going to do is, yeah, you think it'll cover, but what happens is water gets behind it, then it's rust from behind the undercoating, and it'll peel it off, and it just looks like crap. So don't do undercoating. Do your wool wax, like a paint you can put on actually over top of rust, which stops the rust. Rust-Oleum, no, rust, I forget the name of it, but I'm gonna have to do it to this. As you saw that frame, I'm gonna have to chip it all away, all the undercoating, and just clean it up, and then put that stuff on, and then it'll stop the rust and paint it, so it looks good. It'll look black. I just haven't done it yet. Another thing is, I'll show you here. These, like I said, this is the short one, so your door is actually your wheel well. Problem is like, oh, that's okay. Problem is this happens. Little bit of surface rust. It's not a big deal. I can catch that again and clean that up and stop it. But all your stuff gets caught in here, right? Salt, debris, stuff like that, and it just slowly eats away. So to keep that in mind too, if you live in an area like I do where you get snow, where they love to use salt. Honestly, I wish we did. I just wish we use, you know, some sand or letter buck. And their solution is just wash your vehicle more. Like, come on. Anyway, because the reason is we put it in the garage most of the time. I have my wife leave it out after the gym so I can do the video. Better lighting out here. But anyway, if you go from outside to inside where it's warmer, that rust starts. If you keep it outside where it's minus 20 Celsius or colder, below zero, actually below, yeah, minus 20, because the salt will still work at minus 20. It won't rust. Salt doesn't get activated unless it's colder or warmer than minus 20 Celsius. So just keep that in mind. But we all like to have warm butts and whatnot. So we like to have it inside a heated garage and get all the snow and stuff melted off. My truck doesn't get to go inside because my race car's on that side and she's on this side, plus some shop space. So anyway, I'm digressing a little bit there. Okay, we're back inside. So for outside, that's all there is. This has the first year of the 10-speed transmission. Good transmission. Just do your flushes. That's the only maintenance you got to do, which I still have to do on this. If you have the one prior, 2017, 16, 15, they have the 8-speed, garbage. Torque converter issues, temperature, you have to switch out your I guess your cooler lines because there's a built-in thermostat in them, and they had it too hot. So you could GM has a new one. It brings it down temperature to cool it, which helps. I should also, before we move on from the engine, oil cooler lines. They're steel, or sorry, aluminum lined, then they go to crimping, which is rubber, and then to a crimping, and then, you know, aluminum to the rad. Where the crimp is, they always sweat first and then they leak. I've actually replaced them on this with GM ones because they were starting to sweat. And I don't know about you, but I don't want that thing to go on me when I'm driving to 6 hours away and all of a sudden I got no oil left and boom, there goes an engine. So I replaced those. The video before that on this shows that. Super easy job, not a big job. Hand tools can do it. Okay, now for inside, the touchscreen. This one still works, but if you ever have an issue where you doesn't do nothing, it's just screen. It's literally the screen's the issue. Amazon and eBay sell replacements for like 60 bucks. A lot of videos out there showing you how you can do it yourself. You replace it and it works. The cheaper ones do work. You don't have to go to Cadillac and buy the brand name one, because they're just gonna, for no reason, you spend a bunch of money on a screen that you don't need. I'm not a big fan of the touch screen, by the way, of this haptic. Anyway, I'd rather have buttons. I'm old school. So anyway, so that's another issue inside is the screen. That's about it. So the ugly now, right? Let's go to the ugly. So I already touched on it, like I said, the rust. Hideous. Why GM's frames do that? They all do that. Not just the Escalade, which you think it'd be better because it's their top tier, like, you know, flagship vehicle, but they just all rust. This Ford I have is a 2008. No rust on that frame, zero. So I don't know what GM does to their steel, but it looks like crap. If you don't paint it right away or put that wool wax on or whatever, it's gonna look like crap. It's just what it is. Another ugly thing would be, like I talked about it before, get yourself a catch can. You're gonna have issues if you don't. And also, if you can afford it, do your AFM DOD delete. If you can't, buy the module, which I have plugged in under the dash on this thing, that shuts off the V8 mode, or sorry, shuts off the 4-cylinder mode. It's always locked in on V8 mode, so it can never, those lifters just stay there. They're always working, right? The springs aren't always moving, which can be a failure point. But if you can do the delete, guess what? You can put a choppy cam in there. You just got to get a tune for it. Either way, you have to get a tune, right? If you changed even just to a factory cam with no DOD lifters. But you might as well put a little horsepower, a little sound. It sounds cool. So that's going to be something I'm going to do in the future as well. I'm probably going to wait till their engine starts ticking or something like that. Not just do it right away. It's about a $1,500 just for parts to do. Probably a day to swap. Cam swaps aren't crazy hard or nothing. It just takes time. And you're working over the hood on this thing. So, yeah. So I guess there's a short video on, not really that short, but a video on if you're looking at buying one of these or any full-size GM, I guess even truck or SUV of this body style, because it's all kind of common. The Escalade's of course going to be their flagship, the Denali, but they all kind of share the same stuff. So hopefully this video helps you. Hopefully it makes up your mind with getting one. If you have one in mind, just get a good inspection done on it if you're buying used. Those third-party warranties, we did have one on this, and it was the worst thing we ever did. Like, it just doesn't help us. It didn't do nothing. So, not that it wouldn't cover the leaky strut. It wouldn't cover the oil cooler lines, and it's just silly stuff. So, unless you have a really good one you recommend, like you have buddies that have a good one, just don't do one. But just do a good inspection on it. Just prepare yourself for the odd thing here and there. Try to get one that's already had all the struts replaced, or do the MagneRide Delete kit, which just replaces all with normal struts and shocks, and comes with a little module so it shuts it off in the vehicle so there's no engine codes. You can do that too. It's not cheap, but you can do that too. So yeah, get all that replaced. Try to get one that's already got the lifters replaced once. If not, just delete it completely, like I said, which is your best bet. Because the pushrod V8 engine's been around forever, and of course, you start adding emissions and stuff, like diesels, stuff like that. It just wrecks engines. It's just what it does. So you can love it or not, it's just what it does. Other than that, wash the rust. I looked underneath when I bought it. It's all just surface scaling rust. Like I said, I'll clean it up one summer. I'll get it through the grinder and I'll paint it all up. It'll all be gone. The inside of the door, look for the rust in there, because they're actually common for these doors to rust, and the door sills. There's people that have to replace all of them. You wouldn't think you'd have to, but some people don't wash their vehicles enough, and so when you buy it used, you're buying it used because it's a good price. There's going to be issues. And yeah, that's about it. Like, interior, I can't complain about the interior too much. It's been great to us. There's been no issues. Like I said, the touchscreen's never been an issue on this one. Good, decent mileage, to be honest. I can get doing 110 on the highway, in V8 mode, because I have the thing that shuts it off. I get like 10.5 liters per 100 kilometers. So it's really good mileage for what it is. 10, even a little less. Sometimes I get to 9 if I'm, the right temperature and the stars align. And that's just a LiO meter, obviously. It's not actually, filling up hand calculations. That's just going off the LiO meter. But always do your oil changes. Keep up on your maintenance, and she'll treat you right. Okay, guys? Well, hopefully this video helped you. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're new around here. The comments are nice. I try to like every one of them. I try to reply to every one of them. Even the negative ones, I'll leave a little joke on there. It is what it is. But can't expect everyone to like my videos. But we'll catch you in the next one.